life on Earth exists? Have you ever wondered how everything came to be as it is today? Have you ever wondered how life is possible? In every living organism, there is this small and minuscule building block of life called cell. All living things are made up of cells. Some of them are made up of only one cell and others have many cells. The average adult human body has around 37.2 trillion cells. That's a lot of cells. So many, in fact, that it's hard to picture. Cells got their name from an Englishman named Robert Hooke in the year 1665. He first saw and named cells while he was experimenting with a new instrument we now call a microscope. Cells have many parts, each with a different function. Some of these parts, called organelles, are specialized structures that form certain tasks within the cell. Plants and animals have similarly different cells. They are called similar in the sense that one contains organelles that one does not have, although they still have a majority of it present in both cells and with the same function. Both animal and plant cells are eukaryotic cells. However, they both contain some specialized structures.
Animal cells are eukaryotic. Animal cells have outer boundary known as the plasma membrane. The nucleus and the organelles of the cell are bound by a membrane. The genetic material, DNA, in animal cells is within the nucleus that is bound by a double membrane. The cell organelles have a vast range of functions to perform like hormone and enzyme production to provide energy for the cells. Animal cells are of various sizes and have irregular shapes. Most of the cell size range between 1 and 100 micrometers and are visible only with the help of microscope.
Plant cells can be larger than animal cells. The normal range for an animal cell varies from 10 to 30 micrometers, while that for plant cells stretches from 10 to 100 micrometers. Beyond size, the main structural differences between plant and animal cells lie in a few additional structures found in plant cells. Plant cells constitute of membrane-bound nucleus and many cellular structures. These organelles carry out the functions that are necessary for proper functioning and survival of the cell. The cell organelles of the plant are enclosed by a cell wall and cell membrane. The constituents of the cell are suspended in the cytoplasm or cytosol.
Cell membrane. It is a semi-permeable barrier, allowing only a few molecules to move across it. The cell membrane is made up of phospholipids, which has polar or hydrophilic heads and nonpolar or hydrophobic tails. It is the outer boundary of the cell. It encloses the cytoplasm and the organelles of the cells. In plant cells, it is inside the cell wall. The cell membrane is semi-permeable, allowing only specific substances to pass through and blocking others. Nucleus. Nucleus is the host for most of the cell's genetic material, the DNA and RNA. The nucleus is surrounded by a porous membrane known as the nuclear membrane. The RNA moves in or out of the nucleus through these pores. Proteins needed by the nucleus enter through the nuclear pores. The RNA helps in protein synthesis through transcription process. The nucleus controls the activity of the cell and known as the control center. The nucleolus is the dark spot in the nucleus, and it is the location for ribosome formation.
Microtubules are hollow rods that functions primarily as a structural support and shape to the cell. They are hollow cylinder-like structures found in the cytoplasms of the cell. Its function is transport and structural support. Vacuoles. They are bound by single membrane and small organelles. In many organisms, vacuoles are storage organelles. Vacuoles are known as cell storage center. Plant cells have large membrane-bound chamber called vacuole. Its main function is storage. Vacuoles are found in the cytoplasm of most plant cells. They are membrane-bound organelles. and perform functions of secretion, excretion, and storage. Vesicles are smaller vacuoles which functions for transport in and out of the cell.
Mitochondria. Mitochondria is the main energy source of the cell. They are described as the power plants of the cell as they convert glucose to energy molecules or the adenosine triphosphate. They possess their own hereditary material which help in self-duplication and multiplication. It is spherical or rod-shaped organelle. It is an organelle which is independent as it has its own hereditary material.
Lysosomes. It's the digestive system of the cell. They have digestive enzymes that helps in breaking down the waste molecules and also help in detoxification of the cell. If the lysosomes were not membrane bound, the cell could not have used the destructive enzymes. Centrosomes. It is located near the nucleus of the cell and is known as the microtubular organizing center of the cell. Microtubules are made in the centrosome. During the mitosis, the centrosome aids in dividing of the cell and moving of the chromosome to the opposite sides of the cell. Cell wall. The cell wall is a rigid layer that surrounds the plant cells. It is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is a characteristic feature to cell of plants. Plant cell walls are primarily made of cellulose. Plant cell wall consists of three layers: the primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, and the middle lamella. It is located outside the cell membrane, whose main function is to provide rigidity, strength, protection against mechanical stress and infection. Cell wall is made up of cellulose, pectins, glycoproteins, hemicellulose, and lignin. Chloroplast. It is an elongated or disc-shaped organelle containing chlorophyll. They have two membranes and have structures that look like stack of coins. They are flattened structures which contain chemical chlorophyll. The process of photosynthesis occurs in this region of the cell. The chlorophyll is a green pigment that absorbs energy from sunlight to make food for the plants by converting light energy into chemical energy.
Comparing and contrasting plant cell and animal cell. The cell wall of a plant cell is made up of cellulose and is present in almost all cells, while animal cell does not have a cell wall. Plant cells have chloroplasts to prepare their own food. On the other hand, chloroplast is completely absent in animal cells.
Cells are amazing. They are all made of similar building blocks, but they do many different things depending on how they are programmed. Some cells carry oxygen to parts of our body. Other cells defend against invading bacteria and viruses. There are cells that transmit signals throughout the body, like the signals from your eyes to your brain while reading an article. Some cells can even convert sun's energy into food. This is called photosynthesis. There are hundreds of jobs that cells can do. Cells also make other cells in a process called cell division. That is something other building blocks cannot do. Cells are the basic building blocks of all living things. The human body is composed of trillions of cells. They provide structure for the body, take in nutrients from food, convert those nutrients into energy, and carry out specialized functions. Cells also contain the body's hereditary material and can make copies of themselves. Ultimately, this leads us to the usual keep yourself healthy, because a healthy cell leads to a healthy body.